Okay, I'm going to start chapter 13. I don't know if I'll finish it or not, but I am going to read some of it, and if I come to any big point that I feel like is a good talking point for our online discussions, I'll stop and ask the question, and then I'll post this on Google Classroom. So at the end of chapter 12, which we just discussed this morning, Cole gets picked up by Garvey and Edwin, taken to a hospital in a small Tlingit village, and Cole says, "I'm okay." Chapter 13. A short, squat man poked his head inside Cole's room. Ketchikan, which is a city in Alaska. It's actually where Mrs. Cornwall's from. Ketchikan can't set a medevac plane until morning, he called out. It's getting dark and the weather has set in. The nurse felt Cole's forehead. Looks like you'll be spending the night at Rosie's one-star hotel. Edwin nodded at Cole. If you hadn't guessed, this is Rosie. A rare smile creased his lips. She's the best nurse in Drake. Drake is a city in Alaska. The only nurse, Rosie added. If you live through Rosie, Edwin said, you'll live through anything. Cole shuddered with another spasm of chills as Rosie gave Edwin a light shove. You and Garvey go make yourself useful, she said. Get another blanket. Garvey handed Rosie the Atau blanket off a chair beside the bed. Here, we brought this in from the island. Well, that makes me think of a question. What do you think Cole's reaction is going to be to having the Atau given back to him? It's damp, she said. Grab a fresh one from the closet. When Cole spotted the colorful blanket beside him, he felt a sudden warmth. He reached out and grabbed its edge. Garvey studied Cole, letting him clutch the wet Atau as Edwin brought another blanket. He squeezed Cole's shoulder. We'll talk more later. Get some rest now. Cole let go of the Atau and gripped Garvey's arm. I'm not going anywhere, Garvey reassured him. Rosie and I will be here all night with you. Thanks, Cole whispered. So that's some evidence that Cole really is on his evolution or change towards metamorphosis, because he's in this bed in Drake, and as Garvey is about to leave, Cole reaches out and for Garvey and gripped Garvey's arm, and Garvey said to him, I'm not going anywhere. And so Cole is actually needing somebody, which has never happened before in this story. Rosie pushed in beside the bed. This might sting a little. She poked a needle into Cole's left arm. I'm starting an IV drip to get some fluids and some antibiotics into you. Finishing, she tilted Cole's head up and put some pills gently inside his mouth. Now take these tablets. They should help the pain. Cole sipped the water from the glass and he held to his lips and struggled to swallow the pills. When they finally went down, Rosie began working on Cole's wounds. The door opened and another Tlingit woman brought in a thermos of hot soup and set it next to the bed. Rosie turned to Garvey. Maybe you can get some food into this guy. Edwin remained standing along the wall, watching intently as Garvey placed a big pillow under Cole's head and ladled spoonfuls of chicken broth between his cracked lips. Cole's pain dulled as the medication took effect. Sipping soup, he watched Rosie. She worked cheerfully, as if there were nothing else in the world she would rather be doing. When she left the room for more dressings, Garvey turned to Cole. That bear used you for a chew toy. He pursed his lips with concern. I'm sorry for getting you into this. Cole had many things he wanted to explain, but he was too weak and tired. He shook his head. My fault, he whispered. I'm going to call that the first stopping point for this short video, because that last paragraph, which I'm going to reread again, and I'll pick up and I'll make another video after this, but the last paragraph that I just read said, Cole had many things he wanted to explain, but he was too weak and too tired now. And he shook his head and he said, my fault. And he whispered it. So my question is what does that phrase where Cole is saying it's my fault, after they had said, I'm sorry for getting you into this, Cole says, no, My fault. What kind of evidence do you think that that's providing us for our discussion about Cole becoming a round character?